Okay. So I know that it's very easy to feel like everyone's just exaggerating with everything that's going on because every time you like go on the news, it's like, "Oh, Trump this, Trump that, Trump is stealing the moon." Like, so like I it's not lost on me that these escalating stakes are starting to bore people, but you need to be sensitive to the fact that America is building concentration camps, right? And like that's not hyperbole at all, right? Just because of the camp in El Salvador, right? But even before that, like Guantanamo Bay, like that was one thing, right? But then obviously El Salvador was an escalation of that, just a more extreme version. And now because Donald Trump is just the apple of all these weird people's eyes, right? Him doing something means that they just want to do it even bigger and better, you know? So now we have wannabe Trump, uh, Governor DeSantis of Florida, right? Florida man, Ron DeSantis, he's making his own gulag, right? And he's calling it Alligator Alcatraz, which can't lie, pretty cool name. So
Normally on a Friday, the Everglades would be so quiet, but right now the hills are alive with the sound of construction. Joining us right now is Governor Ron DeSantis here in the great state of Florida.
this is so awkward. This is so awkward. Like, yo, this really looks like two middle-aged men forced to make some content. Like that's why it's like so weird, and it's like so desolate. It's like they're in the void.
You came up with this idea in the last couple of weeks, right? For Alcatraz or Alligator Alcatraz. Explain it.
Explain that. You came up with this idea a couple of weeks ago, right? What were you on, really? Like, can you please tell me?
Well, when you want to have deportation of illegal aliens, there's a process the DHS has to go through to vet, to process, and then to stage them for removal.
Right.
And, we've got.
He's saying there needs to be a process. I feel like that's a very well. First of all, this is propaganda, by the way. This is not a legitimate interview by any means. It's designed to make this crazy idea seem plausible to the American people, right? But he's stressing the process, right? Because the Trump administration, in an unprecedented fashion, is doing everything they can to not uh, afford people basic due process while they are getting deported, basically. And it's scary. Like, you know what I mean? It's like if you don't put people through the legal process, you're basically just disappearing them, which is very fascistic. And Ron DeSantis knows this. He's a little bit smarter than Trump, but he's just as slimy, yo.
Jails, and our sheriffs and police are working. The state of Florida is all in on President Trump's mission, and obviously you have ICE operations, but that's not enough. And so there needs to be more ability to intake, process, and then deport. So this answers that. This is going to be able to have more than 3,000 illegals can be processed through here. We've got a massive runway.
So 3,000 people are going to be able to be processed in this facility. Ay, ay, ay. That's like, I think my high school had like, how many people? About 3,000 people, maybe. And I went to like a pretty big high school. I mean, that's a lot of people to be holding all at once. That wouldn't that be kind of scary? I mean, the way that they're framing them, it's like they're these scary migrants, right? So why would you want to build just another jail like in the middle of your state?
Right behind us, where any of the federal assets that they want to fly these people back to their home country, they can do it one-stop shop.
So
One stop shop. These are people's lives, yo. These are your prisoners. These are your political prisoners, yo. One stop shop. Yo, we should put you in a one stop shop. What?
where will the migrants come from? And we should point out,
This guy's even worse because he doesn't even have any power. He's just licking the boots in his in his baby blue waiter shirt. What the hell?
are we're about 50 miles to the west of Miami, right?
More than that, I'd say. So we're in the heart. We're actually mostly in Collier. We're actually mostly in Collier County, to be honest with you.
I was going to say we're in the middle of nowhere.
Dade Collier Airport. So this is an airport that we use for training, military. As you see, we're doing this on the existing footprint.
So okay, they're using some military land to house migrants. I mean, it makes sense from just like a logistical standpoint. I mean, he was probably like, okay, instead of like free healthcare, what if what if we just, built a Guantanamo Bay here instead? I mean, I don't really know who that's helping. I don't think that's really making life in Florida better, to be real. I mean, Florida is full of like Spanish people. Like, do you think that they want just ICE just plucking people off the street? It's like so many people in Florida are Spanish or immigrants. I don't know.
But basically, I would say most of the illegals will likely be ones that are
And I
apprehended.
hate this. Oh, the illegals, the illegals, the illegals. It's because it's just to dehumanize them. They're human beings. Like, you know what I mean? They're undocumented. Like, I mean, obviously, words arose by your name, but illegal is very blatant 1984 style manipulation.
Apprehended in Florida. We've got across this country about 750,000 illegals that have already been ordered to be removed
Right.
by an immigration judge. We've probably got 50,000 or more in Florida, and so we're going to have our hands full just with that. But I'll tell you, this is going to be a force multiplier, and
Right.
we're really happy to be working with the federal government to satisfy President Trump's mandate.
None of this stuff was here, except
By the way, Trump insults the hell out of Ron DeSantis at any opportunity he can get. But here he is. He's licking the boot. He's licking the boot that's not even there. You know what I mean? I love you, Daddy Trump. When after your fifth term, can you please appoint me the second God King of the United States? Like, it's so pathetic.
for the runway about a week ago.
Well, there's a couple buildings with the airport. This is a functioning airport. Some
Right.
media has erroneously tried to say it was defunct. It's not defunct. They do have flights. All those training flights will still be able to continue, no problem. But all the stuff that goes into intake and processing of illegals, you're seeing this put up. This is all 24 hours. 24 hours from now, you're going to see even more. And by Tuesday, this will be able to have intake of illegals.
This looks like a silo that you put horses and pigs in. You're gonna put human beings in here for real just because they're Mexican? Like, dang, yo, in Florida? I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know why they would stand for this over there. Like, this just doesn't seem right to me. I mean, I don't know how they became so Republican, but keep in mind, a lot of Latino people are Trump supporters. I mean, that's just a reality. That's just a reality. It's a dark reality. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I can't believe. And I've been to Florida a couple times, once in my adult life to go to EDC, and there's a bunch of Hispanic people, and I just can't believe that they would stand for this. They're probably not standing for it. They're probably like, what the hell?
And you've thought of everything. Okay, so there are 4 gigantic tents. Let's come on over here, Governor. And people are thinking, okay, you're in the middle of the Everglades. It's hot. That would explain why you've got this bank of air conditioners here.
Yeah, so I mean, this is going to be illegals will
Why does it keep touching his shoulder? Why do you keep touching his shoulder, yo? That's weird.
come in, they'll be processed, there'll be places for them to be housed, you'll have an ability for food, you'll have an ability for them to consult legal rights if they have that.
Consult their legal rights if they have legal rights. Like, that's kind of like a hand wave, like, because like they're them being able to express their rights is the only thing that would allow this thing to exist. So it's like, how are you talking about how big the property is and not like what the legal infrastructure for this being constitutional even is? Because again, this is propaganda. Like, if like what like in any sane world, if a governor tried to do something like this, like the most hard-nosed journalist would be in there inspecting everything, like pressing his buttons. It's like, explain this, explain that, explain this. Like, instead of you're getting this softball MTV Cribs tour of Ron DeSantis's midlife crisis cave. Like, it's ridiculous.
Obviously, there you see the shower and bath facilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like the vibe of this place having a shower. I don't really trust these people to actually build a shower, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Right there.
Yep.
where do you go to get a bunch of bathrooms like that?
Well, so this is being done by the Division of Emergency Management. So when we have a hurricane, like we would actually have people stage here for hurricane response normally,
Right.
anyways, but we have it when we have all the linemen come in to do the power.
Sure.
We have to set up little areas for them, and so you have all this type of stuff. So this is not our first rodeo. The detainee.
I mean, it's so clearly for the base, right? Because DeSantis voters are gonna be like, oh damn, like looking at him, like he's really putting those immigrants in their place. But it's like, what a waste of time this seems like. Like, what a waste of time and money this just seems like to me. Because it's like, are the immigrants the problem in Florida? I would think people need more money. Like that I would assume that was the problem anywhere, right? Like that people need more money. So it's like, I guess, like the fascist contractors are getting paid, like, you know what I mean, to build this concentration camp for him. But I I don't know. Like I really don't know. Like I don't know.
Illegal alien missions a little bit different, and the deportations, but logistics, we know how to do that.
Right, and you know, for people thinking, okay, they're going to put the migrants on this hot asphalt, it looks like you're building a subfloor, and in fact, some guys are putting down the plywood.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
look, this will be, I mean, there's not going to be anything that they're hurting for anything. There'll be AC, there'll be things that everybody needs. There's medical.
Again, he's just hand waving it away. It's like, oh, there'll be things that they need. There'll be things that they need. And look, like, mind you, that this spineless journalist, quote unquote, is teeing him up. He's teeing him up to say that the environments that they're in will be safe, right? And Ron DeSantis's response to that is like, oh yeah, they won't be needing for nothing. You know, they'll have AC. You know, good stuff. Like, dang, like, you know, you're in such a rush to tell us about how this is such a logistical success and how you built this big and important thing, but like, what about the human cost? Which, maybe, do I just sound like a liberal? Do I just sound like a liberal when I say that, yo? Do I just sound like a liberal? Maybe I'm living out, yo. Like, what the hell? These are people you're putting in here. What about for kids? Is there like a daycare? Like, Jesus. You know what I mean? It's like, what kind of food are you going to be bringing for here? Like, are these going to be cells? Like, what? Like, let me see where the immigrants are going to be housed at. Where are they going to be housed at, yo? Who's going to make sure that this is safe? You know what I mean? Are there any Democrats involved in this? Is there any oversight? Like, but even if there was oversight, if it was by the federal government, then it's as good as the federal government put more alligators, they'll say.
Here. So it's being done right. It's being done by the book.
What book? There is no book on this. What book? Where's the book? Where's the book that has Alligator Alcatraz in it? Are you joking? Like, are you joking? What?
Well, you know, when you think of the imagery of Alcatraz, Alcatraz is surrounded by a bay. Here in the Everglades, you're actually surrounded by gators and pythons.
So this is as secure as it gets. I mean, if a criminal alien were to escape from here somehow, and I don't think they will,
And again, it's like, you're basically bragging about how inescapable your prison camp is. Like, how do you wake up in the morning, you know, shave, like, eat breakfast, kiss your wife, you know, hug your kids, and then be like, yeah, like, this is my gulag. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, oh, trust me, these people looking for a better life, when they try to escape, they'll die out there in the Florida Everglades. Don't worry about it. Like, this is called Fox and Friends. This isn't friendly at all. This isn't friendly at all. What?
You've got nowhere to go. I mean, what are you going to do? Trudge through the swamp and dodge alligators on the way back to 50, 60 miles just to get to civilization?
I mean, they crossed into this country, did they not? They you know, I feel like that's almost disrespectful to these people, because if you immigrated on foot to America, which some of these people have, like, you're saying that 60 miles, that's too much for them? Are you serious? Are you serious, yo? Maybe that's too much for you. You probably never walked 60 miles in your life. Clearly, look at you. Like, him either. Him either. Get this boy a sandwich. No hate, no bullying. But look, I don't know.
Not going to happen. So not only that is it secure, it also takes this deportation mission out of the hair of our local and state law enforcement. This has no impact on Florida residents because
Right.
some of that stuff can have an impact on them.
I feel like the cries for help will send bad vibes into the air that they'll breathe into the atmosphere. Like I just could not be like even like 50 miles away from where this kind of shit was happening. Me personally, like I just couldn't do it, like straight up.
If it's in more populated areas. And so logistically, this really answers the call. You don't, all you need is a little bus to move them, you know,
Right.
about 2,000 feet that way, then get on a plane and they're
Right.
gone.
Oh my God! Might as well just build a little train. Just build a little train too. Why don't you? Holy moly! And look, and it's like, is immigration a problem? Maybe, I guess. Like I've never really understood that. Like I even live in a place with immigrants now, and I've really never run into any problems personally. Yeah, that's just me.
Well, listen, the DHS must love this because they're hurting for facilities, and here you are helping the federal government out.
Yeah, well, I said at the very beginning when President Trump took office, you have to have state and locals on board. You got to be on the team if you want to get the deportation mission done. We're done that better than anybody, but I hope other states will follow suit.
You know, if the president
What a faker. What a faker. Oh man, if I hope I don't wake up when I'm 45 and look like this guy in any capacity. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know. But yeah, Alligator Alcatraz. Cool name. Cool name.